students, in our previous video we have studied about bar graph, which represents data with the help of bars, and double bar graph, which displays two sets of data on the same graph. Now in this video we will be studying about line graph, which shows data that changes over a period of time, and your histogram, which shows data in intervals with adjacent bars. Now, in this type of video, we will study about a new type of graph, that is line graph. It is also a type of data chart. Line graphs are used to show data that changes over a period of time. This graph is created by connecting a series of data points together with a line segment. These graphs are a way of accurately presenting information in an easy to read form. It uses lines to connect individual data points that display quantitative values over a specified time interval. Like in this picture also, few blue color boxes or points have been made that are joined with a line segment. These points are known as markers. Line graphs according to groups. The line chart are used to track changes over short and long periods of time. When smaller changes exist, then line graphs are better to use than bar graphs. Line graphs can also be used to compare changes over the same period of time for more than one group. If one group is there, then it is known as simple line chart and only one line is there. If two groups are there, then it is shown by two lines and the two groups are there. If three groups are there, then it will be shown by three lines. Elements of a line graph. Before understanding with the elements of line graph, let's take a line graph. Now see over here, changing population. Changing population is the title. The title tells us what is being represented. By the title, you get an insight into what the graph entails and the kind of conclusion you should be looking at when viewing the graph. Then comes the scale. Scale over here is 1 point is equal to 25 persons. It explains the number of units used in defining each point on the graph. It will assist to correctly interpret the graph. Then comes the labels. Or each axis on the line graph has a label that indicates what kind of data is represented in the graph. X-axis describes the data points on the line and the Y-axis shows the numeric value for each point on the line. We have two types of labels, namely the horizontal label and the vertical label. The horizontal label defines the data that is being described on the X-axis. Like over here, we are describing the population every year, the change of population every year in 1881, in 1891 and like this so on. While the vertical label defines the kind of data which is being described on the y-axis. Like over here, it is showing the total population. Then comes your pointers. These are also known as markers. It depicts the value of each data on the graph. Then comes the main part of the line graph, that is the line. It gives an estimate of the values between each point in discrete functions. We can say that line is the actual graph, while other parts of the graphs are just guides to draw the graph. A line is generated by joining the points on a graph together. When constructing a line graph, the points are joined together using a straight line. With the line on the graph, we can determine the behavior of the data at a glance. Types of line graph. The very first one is your simple line graph. This graph is plotted with only a single line. In most cases, one of these variables is independent variable while the other is a dependent variable. The other one is your multiple line graph. In this graph, it is plotted with two or more lines. It is used to depict two or more variables that change over the same period of time. The independent variable is usually on the horizontal axis, while the two or more dependent variables are on the vertical axis. The third one is your compound line graph. This chart is used when information can be subdivided into different types. It is a development on the simple line graph which shows the total data proportion and the different layers that make up the data. When constructing a compound line chart, you have to first construct multiple line graph, then shade each part to indicate the component of each data from the total. Each of the bottom line indicates a part of the total, while the top line is the total. Now let's take an example. Sale of books for 5 months. The data is over here. According to the data, the number of books sold in January is 1500. In February it is 2000. In March it is 1000. In April it is 3000 and in May it is 2500. First of all, we will be drawing the two axes, that is the x-axis and the y-axis. On the y-axis we are going to plot the number of books and on the x-axis we are going to plot the month. For the data, it has been seen that all the numbers are divisible by 500, are multiple of 500. So we are taking the scale as 500. So we will be plotting January, February, March, April and May on the x-axis and your number of books on the y-axis. So here we have plotted. Now you see, one point is there on January and the other point is there on February. A line is drawn from 1500 to 2000. Then another point is for March, it is 1000. So a line is drawn from 2000 to 1000. Then for April, it is 3000. So a line is drawn from 1000 to 3000. And finally, for May, it is 2500. So a line is drawn from 2500 from 3000 to 2500. Here is our line chart. Now comes the other part of your video, that is the histogram. What is a histogram? It is a bar graph that shows data in intervals. It is an approximate representation of the distribution of numerical data. It was first introduced by Karl Pearson. To construct a histogram, the first step is to divide the entire range of values into a series of intervals and then count how many values fall into each interval. The intervals are usually specified as consecutive, non-overlapping intervals of a variable. The intervals should be adjacent and of equal size. If the intervals are of equal size, a rectangle is erected over the intervals with height proportional to the frequency. As the adjacent intervals leave no gaps, the rectangles of the histogram touch each other to indicate that the original variable is continuous. Histograms are used for continuous data where the bars represent ranges of data. That is the difference between bar graph and histogram. In bar graph, the bars are of equal width and at equal distance. But in this, the bars are adjacent to each other. Now come the elements of a histogram. Before understanding the elements of a histogram, let's take one histogram. Okay, in this histogram, the time index 100 is the title. It describes the information represented by the histogram. On the x-axis, it describes the data intervals that show the scale of values which the measurements fall under. Then on the y-axis, it describes the frequency, which tells the number of times that the values occurred within the interval set by the x-axis. And then comes your beautiful rectangles that are the bars. The height of the bar shows the number of times that the values occurred within the interval, while the width of the bar shows the interval that is covered. In histogram, bars should be of equal width. Now, let's take an example. Mr. Larry, a famous doctor, is researching the height of the students studying in the 8th standard. He has gathered a sample of 15 students. Here is the sample. Now, for drawing a histogram, first of all, we have to make a table. We have to make the intervals and then we have to decide its frequency. Okay? So, first of all, the first column will be of interval. Let's take the intervals we have taken of 138 to 140, 140 to 142, 142 to 144 and like this so on. Then another column is of your height. We will be dividing the sample according to the intervals. Like in 138 to 140, only one number is there, that is 138. Okay? In the same way for 140 and 142 interval, there are only two numbers 141 and 2 times 141 and 141 like this. So, like this we have written all the numbers according to the interval. Now, we are going to write the frequency. The frequency for the first one is 1. In the second one, there are 2 numbers. So, it is 2. In the third one, there are 3 numbers. So, it is 3. In the fourth one, there are 5 numbers. So, 5 like this. So on, we have written the frequency. Now, for drawing the histogram, what we will be doing? We will be using the interval column and the frequency column. Okay? Now, we have taken the table and from the table, we have taken the interval and the frequency. What will be the title for the histogram? The height of the students, because in this histogram we are depicting the height. Then again we will be drawing the two axes, the x-axis and the y-axis. On the x-axis will be plotting the height and on the y-axis we will be plotting the frequency. Then our intervals will be on the x-axis, that is 138 to 140, 142 to 142 like this so on. And our data, our frequency will be on the x-axis and like this we have drawn the bars. It is for one frequency, so 138 to 140 the bar is still 1. For 140 to 142 it is still frequency 2. For 142 to 143 it is still 3 and like this we have drawn all the adjacent bars. This comes your histogram. Like this we have drawn the histogram for the data. So in this video we have studied about the line graph and the histogram. I hope all your doubts are cleared in this video. Thank you.